Hey everyone, welcome to the Tuesday night Principal Chiropractic broadcast brought to you by DE and Band of Brothers around the world. We got a special treat tonight. You know, sometimes DE brings people with a wonderful history and been around chiropractic like Dr. Umber for over 60 years. And tonight we have a student who is all in. His family's all in chiropractic. If you were at last DE, he was responsible for bringing a whole herd of students in. And since he brought so many students in, he allowed them to shave his head. And Nick Sclafani was his whole family, Sclafani, I'm sorry. His whole family are chiropractors. He's got three brothers, and all of them are going into chiropractic school. His brother's getting married and is marrying a chiropractor. His dad and mom are got to be so proud. He told us just a minute ago that his mom said no head shaving, no tattoos, no piercing during this broadcast. But we got a surprise. We're going to make him do a tattoo right on his forehead right during the show. No, I'm just kidding, Mom. It's okay. It's not happening tonight. They're all good. So, before we introduce Nick, I want to make sure everybody knows that DE is coming up. In fact, DE, the room block is ending this weekend. So you need, if you haven't registered, make sure you register for the DE, and also make sure you get your room block, because it actually ends sometime early next week. So we're going to say make sure you get it done this weekend, because, you know, especially knowing that as baseball ends, the Atlanta Braves will be playing in the playoffs. So there'll probably be no chance of getting a call-in room at the hotel, because if the Braves are playing in town that night, that thing will be booked. So make sure you do it now. You can always book the room, and then if something happens, you need to cancel one of your rooms, do it. It'll be gobbled up, not a problem. So make sure you get registered. Make sure you get your room blocked, and get excited, because this guy is on fire. His whole family is on fire for chiropractic. And again, sometimes you see people who talk the talk, and some people walk the walk, and some people shave their heads because they're so on fire for chiropractic. So let's hear it for Nick Sclafani. Sclafani. I had a hard time with that. Love and appreciate you, brother. Take over.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be hosted on this Tuesday night call. I'm so honored that you guys had a student like myself be able to come speak, be able to come talk some DE principles, some DE philosophy. And I'm really grateful. Thanks to Andy for that great introduction. I don't know why he said we were joking about that tattoo. We're definitely going through with that. Just stay until the end. We'll be doing that. But yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know, I'm Nick. I'm a ninth quarter student at Life University, and I'm really fired up. I just want to spread chiropractic. I want to share the big idea, spread Dr. Sid's, BJ Palmer's, DD Palmer's vision of chiropractic around the world. And I just think that Dynamic Essentials is the way to do it. It's the number one way that we could spread chiropractic, fulfill the message that these founders, these developers, these defenders set for us. And so what better way than Dynamic Essentials, right? I was so blessed to have been able to grow up. Many of you guys know my dad, Dr. Len Sclafani, a DE chiropractor through and through. We grew up going to DE, learning the DE principles. We knew all the chiropractic history from a young age, you know. We knew everything about BJ Palmer and Davenport, Iowa, and the principles. You know, we knew that there's no process that does not require time, you know, limitations of matter, all that stuff from a young age. And I was so blessed, me and my three brothers, one who graduated already, another one who's in the program about the same quarter as me, and then another one who's starting in January. You know, like what does that tell you about the Dynamic Essential? That the DE is family, right? DE, it drives us. It drives us through love, and it drives us through passion. It's something that we can all get behind, and something that it's just such a powerful message, It's not like we were forced. We were not told like you're going to be a chiropractor and you're going to like it, It was presented to us as such a loving profession. Our dad loved going into practice every day. Just smile on his face, Work is fun. I love to work. Work is fun. I love to work. The power of thinking big, growing up with the thoughts of like Napoleon Hill and stuff, all that stuff, and it drives you. It drives you. And so I was so blessed to be able to grow up in a DE kid household. How terrific is that? And so when I came to school, I just wanted to continue to share that DE dynamic essential message with as many students as I could. Not because of like, I wanted that the whole thing with the head shaving. I know everyone was asking questions, right? This is what happened. Everyone was like, why did you make a bet with Drew and you won and you shaved your head? What happened, I made a bet with the students. And I said, hey, students, if we get 33 students, 33 is a good chiropractic number, 33 Life University students to come to DE in July, I'd cut off all my hair. And so when I brought that up to Drew, he said, all right, well, we'll shave your head on the stage then. I'll do it for you. So Drew just got the honor to do it, but I wasn't making a bet directly with Drew. So that's to clear up any confusion. I got a little more hair now. You can't see right through to my brain anymore, which is good, but still not a lot, still growing back like a chia pet, slowly but surely. But yeah, so that whole thing with the DE students, I was just so happy to be a part of it. I didn't bring anybody. I just simply brought the DE message to the school and brought the DE message to people. And I was just so happy to see so many students show out. A lot of people picked up the principle. A lot of people getting fired up. I'm happy too. It is growing, definitely. The DE club on campus, we see huge numbers of people coming in. We continue laying down the principle for the students. And as a student myself, even with stuff like when they asked me to do this call and like anytime any doc's like, wow, you do such a great job. Like I don't think I've done anything yet. I have not accomplished anything in chiropractic. I got the same amount of practice success as Joe Schmo on the street. So, but I just think that the whole point is to be as prepared as possible, to be as ready to go, guns blazing. So when I graduate, that I'm ready to hit the ground running and start to see the volume, start to share the chiropractic message, the loving message, and have a service mindset. That's the whole thing. And I saw this thing in this passage in the DE procedures manual that it spoke to me about, how to hit the ground running. It's called Time's a Wasting. It says, it is time for new, active, and aggressive new chiropractors to exert their influence and to turn the profession from its therapeutic directions. It is time for chiropractic principle to return as the ruling factor in the practice of chiropractic. It is time for chiropractic to reject medicine and medical ethics and to convert or eliminate those in the profession who have therapeutic tendencies, alignments, or controls. Time's a wasting. It's time for action. The parade is forming and is ready to move into the line of march. Take your position in the ranks now or stand on the sidelines and watch the parade pass you by. And that really spoke to me, because we really got to be on fire. We got to be as on fire as we can, especially coming out of school, especially, You do all your theory, all your learning, all your education, building up the educated mind. But when stuff hits the fan, that's when you got to be as laser focused as you can, as innate driven as you can. That's the most important thing, is can you be tied to innate? Can you be a full expression of innate intelligence? And that's the whole thing about the present time consciousness. You got to have the openness to be prepared for the now. And I think by doing the 49 breaths that we get into, by doing meditations and by setting goals, having goals, it really keeps me grounded. And I thank DE for all that, and my dad for growing us up with a DE mindset. Where else are you going to have such like goal-oriented people, such mission-driven people? And it's got nothing to do with ego. It's got nothing like that, has no place in chiropractic. Any ego, any like, you know, I do the healing. I'm the greatest healer. Like that does not exist. We lend this whole profession on the fact that there's an infinite power inside the human body, in any living matter. And that is the thing that does the healing. That is the thing that maintains life. We're simply suggesting to the body a force, and the body, an innate, does what it needs to do. I move the bone and God does the healing. So when we accept that, and we accept the fact that innate's the healer, it's so easy to have no ego, you know? It's easy to be like, I don't really do anything, you know? You just kind of suggest it. You just educate and suggest the force, suggest it. And so when that happens, you know, incredible healing happens. You guys all know the healing stories that must happen in your offices all the time. You know, I've heard so many things, you know, but it's so great that we can't focus on, you know, low back pain, neck pain, headaches. Like you guys all know that. It's that we got to spread that message throughout the profession. We got to continue to grow. You know, when you watch, I love to watch all the Dr. Sid memorabilia. Anything Dr. Sid, I love to get my hands on. If anyone's got any Dr. Sid stuff, you know, and you're done with it, send it my way. You know, I'm happy to take as much Dr. Sid memorabilia as I could get. But I love watching Dr. Sid when he's talking about, he's like, there's this one clip on YouTube where he's like, I believe it's at assembly or at the assembly at the school. And he goes, all the students could ask questions. And the students are like, what color toilet paper can we get in the bathroom? And what's going on with Sherman College accreditation? And Dr. Sid's like, where are the questions about Costa Rica and the Dominican Republic? Where are the questions about spreading chiropractic to China and Japan? He's like, because isn't that the whole goal, is to spread this profession worldwide, to show everyone that this is the number one healthcare profession, because truly it's the only healthcare profession. We all know that every other healthcare is sick care. Any of the allopathic model is sick care. We provide health care, and that we understand the adaptive ability. Thanks, Vanessa from Hong Kong. Look at this. You're probably up at like 1 a.m? That's awesome. Thanks, Vanessa. And so we understand the adaptive responses in the body and how creative it is. Such a force that we could not even bound, like we could not even quantify. That's the whole thing, is that BJ talked about. How could you have more trust in a medicine, potion, lotion versus the thing that animates living matter, the life force? It's impossible. This thing has got such an edge on us, you know? So why would we try and fight that? Why do we try and get in the educated? We try and stay so hard in the educated mind, educated. Now, the educated mind is great because it allows us to study the anatomy, allows us to discover the science of chiropractic. But we have to lend it all back. We have to tie it all back to innate. And when we understand that innate intelligence, we harness it and we use it in the dynamic essential, you know? Dynamic essential, the new spirit born within the man when you become aware, humble, and obedient to the will of God within. That's becoming a vessel for innate. That's essentially what that means. And when you do that, it's a beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful thing. You know, I get so excited when I think about my future, my goals, you know, how I'm going to practice, how many offices I'm going to open, you know, how am I going to give back? How am I going to get involved with research? And it's so incredible, you know, it's so incredible the things we could do in chiropractic. The founder, D.D. Palmer, was an innovator. BJ was a huge innovator. He was the guy. Without him, there'd be no chiropractors on the planet right now. Dr. Sid started a school. He was off the whim, you know, huge innovator. And it's our job to continue innovating. That's why Dr. Sid's book, Looking Back to See Ahead, the whole thing is that you look back to the history. We appreciate the history. We love the history. Now it's our time to innovate, continue innovating. If BJ saw that we were doing the same thing that he was doing when he died, he'd be pissed. You know, he would want us to keep innovating. That's our whole goal. We want to become have better science, a better application of the art, to refine the philosophy and hone the innate, own the universal intelligence, own that stuff, And when you do that is only when we do that and we start to own everything we do, do it with absolute authority. Know that you know that you know that you know. That's when we could start to get this. I always call it the incidence rate or prevalence rate. I don't know what it is, but it just means that about 10% of people go to a chiropractor in the United States every year. So we're obviously grateful to have that 10%, but we got to make this 100%. We got to keep telling the message, always spread the message. And this is mainly speaking to myself, you guys are out there, everyone, all you docs who are seeing hundreds of people a week, thousands of people a week, you're telling the message, you're spreading the message to all these patients, giving them principled chiropractic care, specific care, and when you tell people that you have found the cause of their disease, the basic fundamental and underlying cause of all or nearly all of their health problems, it's in their spine, their atlas bone, and it could be corrected right here in this office. That's hope to these people, regardless of their condition. If they got cancer, like stage 4 lung cancer, if they've got, syphilis, gonorrhea, lymphogranuloma, inguinale, whatever it is, and you tell them that we found the cause and you can correct it, like, is that not the most powerful word you could use? Are you not instilling such hope in these people's, their hearts and in their minds and their families' minds? And that whole thing is it's just telling the message, And it's tough when the message that a lot of it's on social media is ring dinger and whack 'em crack 'ems and hammer and chisel. Like ring dinger, I thought was like a Hostess Twinkie covered in chocolate, but it's not. But it's actually an adjustment. But that has nothing to do with chiropractic. That is just but it's poor because that's the message that people are getting. This is what's chiropractic. So when people are afraid to take their kid to a chiropractor because of the stuff they see online, how could you blame them? How could you blame people when they see a kid, when you see someone getting their whole neck yanked by a strap? Who would want to take their kid to that person? We got to get a congruent chiropractic message out there that chiropractic is specific and effective, scientific adjustments. That's the message that we need to get out there. The principled chiropractors need to spread the message on the social media. That's what I love, that Atlas video thing when everyone was flooding the social media with Atlas videos, right? When people see a congruent message, they start to understand. They finally get it. When they see it over and over and over and over and over again, they finally start to say, hey, maybe there's something to this, And that's the way we're going to do it is we got to have a congruent message. The principled people, the DE chiropractors, there's other principled organizations too. Got to get involved with all the principled organizations, the GCC in Georgia, the FCS in Florida, the CCC in Connecticut, just a few organizations that I'm aware of and a member of. And so when those organizations, they make change, legislative change, they do research, they're hitting the ground running, right? And so as a student, my whole thing is I want to come out with a DUI, I want to come out with a DUI out of school with desire, urgency, and intensity, not driving under the influence. I don't need another one of those. No, I don't have any of those. But I need to have desire, urgency, and intensity. And all the students need to have that. And all the docs need to have that. We all got to be pushing it. How do you get the chiropractic edge is by having that laser focus, having that goal-driven orientation, How do I continue my goal? Not get complacent, not get comfortable. How do I get to what Dr. Sid had? That's 17 offices and a chiropractic school and a DE seminar that taught the systems how to do it, taught the love and passion how to do it. How do I grow like that? How do I go like BJ, who had a sanitarium? He had a school. He had every possible patent on inventions. The first X-ray machine across the Mississippi River. stuff like that. It gets you fired up, and you really want to mirror these people, match that level of intensity and innovation, get involved with all kinds of stuff like that. It's so important, and it's a universal law, just like Dr. Sid. I don't have any keys, but just like Dr. Sid would drop the keys, it was to say chiropractic is a universal law. When we get man the physical with man the spiritual reconnected, it's a universal law that health will ensue. That's a universal law, just as gravity is a universal law. It applies to all things. And just like that, the dynamic essential is a universal law. If you get tapped in, if you get in touch with those thoughts, THOTS, like Dr. Blumsack, my unit clinic doc, he always has on his board the chiropractic thoughts. They kind of give him a hard time for that, but it's not, that word doesn't mean what we used to mean. But when we tap into those thoughts and we tap into those flashes, it allows us to get in tune with innate. And that's what chiropractic is all about. Have that courage, have that passion. I'm just so excited to be in this profession and be able to share the ideas of the dynamic essential, getting in touch with innate versus getting so educated and so like in your thoughts, so in your head. We can't be in our head, That's where fear comes from. That's where inhibition comes from. That false evidence appearing real. That's the educated mind. It doesn't understand the unbounded potential of innate, It's very, very concrete and bounded. But innate has got such creative processes. We see it in health, There's the whole D.D. Palmer adjusting Harvey Lillard. How creative is innate to figure out how to regain healing once the nervous system is reconnected? How incredible is that? How creative is that? You think any person could have figured that out? Impossible. You trust in innate. When you trust in innate, incredible healing will happen. And when you trust in innate, your practice will succeed and your family will succeed. And you guys know this. I know that you know this. I just get so fired up. And I'm so happy to be sharing in this profession and just being on fire, You guys light my fire, my family, the DE family, it's just such a beautiful thing. It's so fantastic when you're laser focused, when you're focusing on subluxation correction, nothing else. No medcasonolators, no colonic irrigators, none of that stuff. Focusing on correcting subluxation. And that's the only thing. And that's the beauty of it. So simple. So simple. And so I am just so happy that you guys allowed me to be on this Tuesday night call, just being able to share my passion. As a student, again, I haven't accomplished nothing, nada, zero. But I'm so happy that I was able to prepare as a student through DE and prepare mentally through DE. So that way I'm ready to hit the ground running, spread the message, grow offices, share the message with students, the research, whatever it may be, and that everyone can do that. Everyone can push their boundaries. Don't get complacent. Don't get comfortable. And again, if anyone has Dr. Sid memorabilia, anything, send it my way. But that's besides the fact. So I think that will conclude my talk today. After the tattoo, Mary could come in for the tattoo. No, I'm just kidding, but that's all set. So whenever you guys are ready to sign me off, love and appreciate all of you.
My man. Drop the freaking mic. That was good. I mean, I don't know if you saw the messages. I love your energy. I love your energy. I love your energy. That was awesome, my man. And you are so wrong. You have done a lot already. And chiropractic, the future of chiropractic is in great hands, just with your family alone, but with all the 33 people you brought, brother. That's that passion, that DUI you're talking about. If everybody listening to this call, everybody who goes to DE could just have 50% of the energy that you just expressed right there, their practices would double within the next 6 months, I promise you. So You dropped the mic, bro. You did a great job. Again, the future of chiropractic is so, so bright. And thank you your mom and thank your dad for what they've done to bring you up in this way. And just because they did such a good job, we are not going to give you a tattoo tonight.
Okay? Come on.
Not tonight. Not tonight.
To it.
Okay.
Come on.
Maybe at DE in front of everybody. We'll get a tattoo.
Okay.
Power Cat right here.
Yes,
okay,
in October. We'll make it happen.
There you go. All right, everybody. Have a great night. And listen to what this young man said. Think about it. Think big. Think bigger. Think bigger. Think bigger. Because people in your community need what he just explained. Love and appreciate y'all. Great job, brother.
Love you, Andy.